Welcome to the HCD HQS Remote Video Inspection Best Practices Training. This module will cover general health and safety, common areas, elevators, site, and neighborhood. We are presenting a series of these trainings. This is one of 5 modules in total. The first module covers a general overview of remote video inspections. And we recommend that you watch that one first before you start this video. The other 3 videos will cover specific areas of the inspection, and please refer to those if you are interested in those topics. To do a full inspection to see how it's carried out in its totality, you should watch each of these videos. I'm Jennifer Stoloff. I'm with Econometrica, and I also have Tom Fian here. He's our inspector and our training leader, and I will turn this over to Tom now.
Thank you and welcome. In this module, we're going to be discussing the remote video inspection protocol for general health and safety, common areas, elevators, and site and neighborhood. The learning outcome is the following. To know the inspectable items under the general health and safety, to learn the RVI protocol to inspect each inspectable item under general health and safety, to know the inspectable items under common areas and elevators, to learn the RVI protocol to inspect each inspectable item under common areas and elevators, to know the inspectable items under site and neighborhood, and lastly, to learn the RVI protocol to inspect each inspectable item under site and neighborhood. Here are the inspectable items that we look at when it comes to general health and safety. Access to the unit, exits, evidence of infestation, garbage and debris, refuse disposal, interior stairs and common halls, other interior hazards, elevators, indoor air quality, site and neighborhood, and lead-based paint owner certificate. Common areas are public and non-public areas, common stairs, hallways, elevators, laundry rooms, trash chutes, used by the tenant according to their lease agreement. In other words, if they're not passing by this particular area or if they're not using it as part of their lease agreement, you do not inspect it. The common areas would include basement, garage, and carports, closets, utilities, mechanical rooms, community rooms, daycares, interior hallways, outside common areas, halls, corridors, and stairs, kitchens, laundry, lobby, other community spaces, patio, porches, and balconies, pools and related structures, restrooms, storage, and trash collection areas.
I was wondering, Tom, if I don't use the daycare, would you still include that in your inspection?
No, that would not be included. Now here's an example of a common area. We're looking at a laundry room, and when it comes to the common area, we're going to be looking at the following items: illumination, electrical hazards, security, window condition, ceiling condition, wall conditions, floor conditions, lead-based paint, smoke detectors, and carbon monoxide detectors. Now, looking at the common areas, the inspector would give the proxy the following directions. Enter the common area and give me the name and location of the common area, such as this would, as we look at the slides there, we're seeing a community room, and the one below that, we're seeing a common hallway. Move slowly to your right and point the camera at the walls. Show me with your camera you operating the windows. Show me with your camera you operating the doors. Show me with your camera you testing the outlets, just like we did in the other in the unit. Show me with your camera you operating the light switches and fixtures. And show me with your camera the ceiling and the floor. Show me with your camera the heat source. Show me with your camera any infestation, any garbage and debris, any deteriorated paint, and also show me with your camera you testing the smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, auxiliary lights, and emergency lights. Now we can see there from the slides, we have a furnace that has a missing cover on it. So that would be a 24-hour life-threatening health and safety. On the top right-hand side, we're looking at a glue trap, and it has little dots on it. Those little dots are actually bed bugs that were in the unit. So that's an example of infestation. The one below that, we have an auxiliary light that is pulled away from its junction box. So we have exposed wires, and the light is not working. So that would be a 24-hour life-threatening health and safety. And then we have below that, we've got an example of severe deteriorated paint on the windowsill and the sash. So that would be a deficiency under the lead-based paint requirements if the building was built prior to 1978 and there's a child under the age of 6 going to live there or is living there, or we have a child that is poisoned with lead-based paint. And lastly, on the left-hand side, we're seeing garbage and debris. And as you can see, that accumulation is much more than one person can clean up within 1 to 2 hours. All right, the inspector then instructs the proxy on these directions for the common area, and that would be show me with your camera the fire extinguisher. Now what we're looking for there is that you want to show the inspector the gauge, and if that gauge, the yellow needle's not in the green zone on the fire extinguisher, if it's overcharged or undercharged, or if there's no inspection tag, that would be written up as a deficiency. Show me with your camera the sprinkler head and fire control system. And you can see from the slide there, we've got a sprinkler head that has paint on the head and on the bracket. That would be considered a 24-hour life-threatening health and safety. Show me with your camera the interior stairs and common hallways used by the tenant. And you can see on those stairs, we don't have a handrail over a run of 4 or more steps. So that would be written up as a fail item. And then we have show me with your camera the fire exits from the building. Now this is a common kitchen, and the items that we look at in the common kitchen are exactly as the same are the items that we looked in a unit kitchen. And these would be kitchen area present, electricity, electrical hazards, security, window condition, ceiling condition, wall condition, floor conditions, lead-based paint, stove and or range, refrigerator, sink, space for storage, preparation, and serving of food. The protocol that we use for the units is exactly the same as the protocol we will use for a common kitchen. So I'm not going to repeat the protocol. I would refer you back to the module that is titled Living Rooms, Kitchens, and Bathrooms. Common bathrooms. Again, common bathrooms have the same requirements as unit bathrooms. And remember, this is a common bathroom that would be used by our client as part of their lease agreement. And what we're looking for is bathroom present. We're looking at the electrical requirements, electrical hazards, security, window conditions, ceiling conditions, wall conditions, floor conditions, lead-based paint, flush toilet and enclosed room in the unit, and in this particular case, it would be in the common area, fixed sink in the common area, tub or shower, and ventilation. Again, these items are exactly the same as the items we looked at in the unit, so I'm not going to repeat the protocol. I would refer you back to the module on living rooms, kitchens, and bathrooms. Now we're going to look at the protocol for inspecting the elevators. So show me with your camera the elevator. Push the button to call the elevator. Show me with your camera the elevator door and the cab. Show me with your camera that the cab floor is even. Cab floor is even with the floor. There we're looking for a trip hazard. We're also looking to make sure that when the door opens that the cab is there. Otherwise, you've got a dangerous situation, and that would be a 24-hour life-threatening health and safety. Next, we're looking at the laundry room. In units, they also have laundry areas, but I want to go over this item protocol in particular because we do run into common laundry areas, and many of these common laundry areas are used by our clients as part of their lease agreement. So the protocol would be show me with your camera the washer and dryer. Show me with your camera the washer hookups. Show me with your camera the dryer hookups. Show me with your camera the dryer vent hose or vent pipe. And then show me with your camera the laundry tub and the hookups. Now we're getting into what we call site and neighborhood. And the items that we're concerned about on site and neighborhood, and I realize this is a very charged issue, but the housing choice voucher requirements are that we do have to look at the site and neighborhood that our client will be using. And then what we're looking for there is dilapidated garage or shed with potential for structural collapse, evidence of flooding or major drainage problems, evidence of mudslides or large land settlement or collapse, proximity to open sewage, unprotected heights such as cliffs, quarries, mines, sand pits, fire hazards, abnormal air pollution or smoke, continuous or excessive vibrations of vehicular traffic, and lastly, lead-based paint. Now, the inspectable items that we're looking at when it comes to site and neighborhood are the following. We've got fences and gates, grounds, mailboxes and project signs, litter and graffiti, parking lots, driveways and roads, play areas and equipment, refuse disposal, retaining walls, storm drainage, walkways and steps, and lead-based paint.
What is this showing us in this image?
What we're looking at there is a storm sewer drain in a parking lot, and you'll notice right there we've got some significant potholes or chuck holes, and those create a trip hazard. So anyone in a wheelchair or a walker or anyone walking with high heels could trip on that and fall and get injured very badly. Now, the inspector gives the proxy the following directions to inspect the site and neighborhood. So slowly walk around the property. Show me with your camera the refuse disposal facility. Show me with your camera the parking lots, driveways, and roads. And you can see on the right slide, top slide there, we're looking at a dumpster that's in an enclosed area, and the dumpster does not have a lid. So in that particular case, you would probably write that up as a pass with comment. If the dumpster was overflowing, and meaning that the area was too small to take care of all the garbage and debris, then that would be written up as a fail item. Now, the bottom slide there, we're looking at a parking lot that is in very bad condition. It's got a lot of potholes, chuck holes. It's got loose area. The asphalt is peeling away from the substrate, and that would be a fail rating. Show me with your camera the sidewalks, walkways, stoops, and patios. Show me with your camera the fences and gates, and show me with your camera the vegetation on or near the property. So you can see on the top slide there, we've got a run of steps there that does not have a handrail. Remember, the Housing Choice Voucher HQS standard says if there's a run of 4 or more steps, you have to have a handrail. And you can see on that run of steps there is no handrail. Right underneath there, we have a fence with a missing section, and that would be a fail rating. And we also have overgrown penetrating vegetation, so that would be a fail rating. And then on the left-hand side, we've got a sidewalk. The bricks are deteriorated. They're just lying on the sidewalk there, creating a trip hazard, so that would be a fail rating. Show me with your camera the mailboxes and project signs. Show me with your camera play areas and equipment, and show me with your camera the retaining walls. So now you can see from the slide there, we've got a mailbox with the house number on it, and we started off our inspection by identifying the unit, and while that was being done, you can inspect the mailbox at the same time. We can also see a project sign on the right-hand side. There we're looking at, do we have any electrical hazards on the lights that are illuminating the sign? Or is the sign damaged in any way, such as from wind or being knocked over by a vehicle? Playground equipment is on the bottom left-hand side. Again, we're looking for situations where we've got hazardous situations, such as broken pieces that could create sharp edges and cutting hazards. And then on the bottom right, we can see a retaining wall that has a missing section. So that would be a fail rating. Show me with your camera the storm drainage. Show me with your camera other buildings on or near the property. And show me with your camera any deteriorated paint. So on the slide we're looking at the top, you can see a storm drain that is completely clogged with runoff material, debris, and we've got an even red ball blocking it. So there we have a situation, the storm drain is blocked, and that is a fail rating. Below that, we're looking at a garage that has a missing door. And we also have overgrown penetrating vegetation. So that would be a fail rating. And the bottom slide is, again, we've got deteriorated paint. And that is a fail rating when you have the building was built prior to 78 and you have a child under the age of 6 that will live there or does live there, or we have a child poisoned with lead-based paint. And we finally get to the end of the inspection with the overall results. And after the inspection is completed, we'll have one of 4 categories there. We'll have pass with comment, fail, or inconclusive. And pass, as you know, there's no deficiencies. Pass with comment, some deficiencies, but none are life-threatening. Then we have fail rating. We have 2 types, non-life-threatening and life-threatening. The non-life-threatening would be, for example, a missing discharge pipe on a water heater, temperature pressure relief valve, and the life-threatening deficiencies, which are ones that have to be fixed within 24 hours. This would be an exposed main electrical wire. And then lastly, we have inconclusive, for which an example would that be for which appliances are present, but the utilities are shut off on the initial inspection. Now, the inspection results will be available immediately. The inspector will know if it passes or fails. The inspector will send the unit results, i.e. pass with comment, fail, or inconclusive, to the proxy via email. If the inspection receives a fail status, the inspector will inform the proxy of what needs to be corrected to receive a pass status. If the proxy wants a same-day re-inspection, the proxy tells the inspector during the call. The inspector will inform the proxy of available times. If the proxy wants a re-inspection at a later date, they must call the Public Housing Authority's HQS office to schedule the re-inspection. The proxy restores their preferred settings on their phone after the inspection and call are completed.
Thank you, John. This has been a very interesting module, and if you've watched the other modules already, then this is the final one that you will see. We encourage you, if you haven't watched them yet, to go back and view the other 4 inspection module, the other 3 inspection modules that cover, one that covers interior rooms, the living room, kitchen, and bathroom. And that one specifically, the protocols are going to be the same as for the common kitchen and common bathrooms. So we skipped that in this training video because we've already recorded that in this module. However, the slide deck will be available to you on HUD Exchange for the full protocols for the common areas inspections. The other one you can view is the other interior rooms. And then there's another one about electric, plumbing, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, and the building exterior, which is a little bit different than the site and neighborhood protocols. Also, there's an overview module that just gives you the big picture about HQS and how RVI works in general. And we encourage you to watch that one first before you watch any of the other videos. Scripts for conducting the inspections are also will be available on the HUD Exchange website with the same page with all of these videos. Tom, thank you again.
You're
Thanks to
welcome.
everybody who's viewing this. And we hope that this is useful.